We've got head coach Greg Collins, and we'll open it straight into questions for you guys.
Greg, I know obviously you'll take a win. Is it one of those wins where you saw several things you liked and you saw several things that you still need to clean up?
Well, I like the first half focus on the defensive boards. That's what we've been trying to make sure we do a better job of. I think we gave up 2 offensive rebounds in the first half. And then in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter, we gave up 5 offensive rebounds. So that's why you saw some substitution. So they're going to learn. They're either going to box out and rebound or they're not going to play. And so we were trying to address that issue, and then we just missed some shots. And then we, when you give up those offensive rebounds, they get second chance opportunities. And whether it's an immediately put back or not, you've got to guard 2 possessions. And so there aren't many teams, if you get 2 shots at the goal, it's hard to match them 1 for 2. And so, and then consequently, the best, I asked our team, the best press offense is good defense. Because if you guard and rebound, you don't have to worry about press offense. And so the kids really focused on that the first half. And I think they just kind of got lulled into a little bit of being comfortable. Maybe thought the second half was going to be as easy as the first half, but not remembering that they worked really hard in the first half to make that happen.
Greg, on their side, I'm going to say the last name wrong, probably Guinto or Guinto, number 1 on the team. Going into the game, the scouting report, she was only averaging, I think, 7.5 points per game, but were you surprised at all her capability to shoot 3-point?
No, we knew she was a 3-point shot. Matter of fact, one of our options was to deny certain players, and obviously we're going to deny number 4 if we needed to, but she was the other one. There's 24, is the other kid, I forget her name, the other shooter that they have, and number 1 was the next option. So we weren't surprised. We just didn't do a good job.
In that third quarter, it seemed like both teams were really having to struggle to score or really do much of anything on offense on both sides. What do you think contributed to that?
I don't want to complain about the referees, but I'm going to complain about the referees. I just felt like it wasn't consistent from half to half, sometimes even possession to possession. And I was talking to them that it doesn't matter how you're going to call the game, but just make sure it's consistent on both ends of the floor and from half to half. And so that makes it tough. And they did a good job, but it makes it tough on the players to adjust when one thing's happening in one half or one thing happens on one end and then something completely different happens and has a different result. And so we just were lacking a little bit of consistency. It's not that it was called unfairly. I just felt like there were moments in the game where maybe there's more contact on one end than the other end.
Considering how well things did go in the first half defensively and then that turning into the points, is it just a mental thing whenever they just get comfortable and they think that it's just going to keep rolling instead of working?
Absolutely, and I think that was part of the reason we lost on Thursday. I think we had, whether consciously or subconsciously, we had several players that just got comfortable thinking that, we've won a bunch of games by a comfortable margin, this is going to happen again. And they forget quickly, the memories are pretty short, quickly how hard you work to get better, to do the things that you've got to do. And so again, we're trying to teach and grow, and it's good to win, but it's good to learn in a win like this. So had we gone on and won by 18 or 20, I'm not sure we would have gotten the same lessons that we get to take away from this one.
Did you sort of see, I don't know, like what practice was like yesterday, just the approach today, a different mindset with the team, maybe like a wake-up call considering how that went with them going into today?
There was a more concerted effort on the team to make sure the energy level was high. But I felt like our energy was at an all-time low against Southern Miss leading into the game, and that resulted in a really poor performance. So credit to our players, because they really focused on keeping the energy level up. And when they do that, they work harder on defense, they work harder together, they run the floor better, things work better. And so that was what I noticed in our practice the last 2 days.
Greg, is it safe to say that one positive you would take is when they got it to 3, and I think it was number 1 with the 3, get it to 3. I mean, you got E back in right there, that group. Would you say it's a positive how that group responded to when they got it within 3, and then you build it back up to 6 or 7?
Well, I think they were still confident in being able to play, and I was trying. D had 4 fouls. I was trying to survive to the 2-minute mark. In my mind, I was trying to get to the 2-minute mark. I was going to put her in regardless. And at that moment, we had to grow. We had to get her right then, and maybe could have gotten her in sooner. But then you run the risk of her picking up a 5th foul at the 3-minute mark, and then you got to play the last 2 minutes without D. Givens on the floor. And I want D. Givens on the floor down the stretch. So I felt like the other players were just confident. one of the lessons we'll take away is we're going to practice free throws. I think we've worked, and early in the year we shot free throws real well, but down the stretch we were sub 50%. I know that because other than Terry Smith, nobody made two.
Kiera Anthony, she's the leading scorer in Conference USA right now. How do you guys feel that you kind of did containing her tonight?
Kiera is tough to guard because she has the ability to not just create her own shot, but she can get free by herself. There are other scorers in this league that are great shooters, great players, but Kiera is a whole different ball player because when the ball's in her hands and you can send two after her and she can lose two, and then she gets to pick between a shot or an assist. So she's one of the toughest players to guard in this conference.
Greg, how do you think Sherry played?
Overall, well, but there were times where I felt like her confidence maybe got shaken a little bit, so we subbed her out, but she came back, and then I thought she did a great job tonight of pushing the ball down the floor. And really the thing I was most proud of was on that offensive end, she'd push the ball down the floor and just kind of exploring and seeing what was available easy. And if it wasn't easy, she just brought it back out and kept the ball alive. And that shows a lot of growth because that's something she hadn't done earlier in the season.